Hey everybody, welcome back to the 80s Slashers YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to wrap up my non-80s Slashers horror collection. The first two parts of this video, I focused on my Blu-rays. I did a part 1 and a part 2 video. In this video, we're going to go through my DVD collection, and then after the DVDs, we'll go through my VHS and some Betamax tapes I have. Now, these collections aren't as big as my Blu-ray collection, mostly because I sold a lot of my DVDs and VHS that I had earlier on. Whenever Blu-rays started coming out, for whatever reason, I started selling off my DVDs, and I don't know, they just disappeared. I don't know if I gave them away or whatever happened to a lot of them, but they're just gone. So over the past few years, I've been, when I go to thrift stores, flea markets, yard sales, all that stuff. If I see some horror DVDs and VHS tapes, I've been reacquiring them. So yeah, that's um that's the story with my DVDs. So let's just get right into it here. So first up, Almost Human. Now, in the Blu-ray videos, um, there's two movies, A Mind's Eye, The Mind's Eye, and VFW, both directed by Joe Begos. This is his first film, Almost Human. Um, these are great. I love Joe Begos. He's done a couple other movies as well. Um, this is his first film, and again, this has the feel of a guy with all his friends, and they wrote the movie, they directed it, edited it, produced it, starred in it. I think they all lived together as they were making this film. It just kind of has that feel to it, like just a group of friends making a movie. And these are so fun. Like they're low budget, but they're so fun. There's a lot of gore, a lot of blood. Basically, this film is one of the friends gets like abducted by aliens and disappears, and then at a short time later, he comes back, and he's like kind of a crazy possessed alien, and they don't know what's going on. He just starts going around killing people. So his friends are trying to stop him and figure it out. Um, Really fun. Yeah, it's like a gory throwback. Again, Joe Bagos, a lot of his films have that 80s, early 90s feel to it. Just so fun. I highly recommend Almost Human. It's really good. Definitely check it out. Alright, next up we have Blood on the Highway. Again, really, really low budget film. A group of friends just going on a road trip. They stop in a little town, and they soon find out that the whole town is overrun by vampires, and they have to basically survive the night and the next day kind of thing. Um, Again, cheesy, lots of blood, lots of gore, really bad acting, like really bad acting. It's funny. Right here, you can see this is what's his name? Nicholas Brendan. He's from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He played Xavier in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV series. He shows up at the end of this, and he's not known as an A-list actor. But in the scenes that he's in, acting with the regular the main stars, you can just see like he's such a better actor than everyone else. It's jarring almost, and it's hilarious because if he was acting next to you know regular Hollywood type actors, you'd be like, oh, he's not a good actor. But compared to these guys, it's like night and day. It's funny. It's just kind of a funny juxtaposition. Anyway, Blood on the Highway. It's okay. It's fun. Lots of blood. Lots of silly humor. Yeah, kind of a fun one. Brain Scan. I haven't watched this yet. I've never seen it, so I don't have much to say. But I'm glad to have it. It's one of these ones that I definitely want to pick up or watch soon. Young Edward Furlong. I hear good things. People like this film, so I'll have to check that out pretty soon. Bubba Hotep. Yeah, Bruce Campbell. Don Coscarelli. The director who did the Phantasm films. This is fun. This is a silly, Bruce Campbell. Pretending or thinking he's Elvis Presley in like a retirement home. This guy here believes that he's John F. Kennedy, and like these ancient mummies and things come back, and they have to fight them. And, he's in a wheelchair, he's in a walker. It's just kind of a silly, dark comedy, horror. Some good special effects, some good blood. Yeah, Bubba Hotep's fun. Cabin Fever. I liked this film. I feel like some people don't like this film. Um, I don't know. Something about this. I just like this. This is Eli Roth. Who did the Hostel films, and it's just there's some good violence, some good blood, guts. If there's one thing Eli Roth is good at, it's is getting some good splatter, some good gory effects on screen. Yeah, just a group of friends go up in a cabin, and craziness starts to happen. I don't know. It's just it's been a while since I've seen this actually, but there's a couple sequels after this I've never seen, but I like the original Cabin Fever. It's pretty good. All right, Castle Freak. Yeah, Stuart Gordon, from Reanimator. This also stars Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton. So it's kind of like a Reanimator reunion kind of, and yeah, Full Moon Features. This is okay. It's kind of like a weird. It's like a Full Moon, Charles Band type movie. Um, it's okay. Good one to have. I'm glad I have it. It's kind of fun. Cold Prey. I love this film. This is a, what country is it? Is it Norway, Sweden, Finland? It's one of those Scandinavian countries. I'm not sure if I'm going to see it here. No, Norway. Yeah, it's a Norwegian slasher film from, was it early 2000s? I don't even know. 2000, it says 2009. That doesn't sound right to me. Maybe it is 2009, 2006. I don't know. Um, anyway, Coldplay is awesome. I really like it. Their group of friends go snowboarding. One of them gets a really bad injury, and they take shelter in like this old abandoned. Is it like a hotel or something? There's a backstory that went on at the hotel years and years ago, and they start getting hunted and killed one by one by this crazy killer. And the final girl is super super strong. Yeah, this film did so well. There was two sequels, which I've never seen. I've been waiting to find them on DVD. I've never come across them. Love the ending to this film. So many good kills, atmosphere. Absolutely love Cold Prey. Fantastic. Definitely check this one out if you haven't seen it. Creepazoids. This isn't a great one. I didn't. There's not too much. This is really low budget. This of course has Linnea Quigley. She has a shower scene. It's pretty brief, but it's if you're gonna put her in a movie, 87, yeah, she's gonna do that. So 72 minutes, really short. It's just I don't know. It's kind of forgettable. It's not that great. Here's a really old one, The Day of the Triffids. I haven't seen this. It's one of these ones I picked up. Just I figured it was a good one to own. Um, so yeah, I don't really know what even year is it? 62, 1962. Um, this one has some fans, so I'll definitely have to check it out someday. But yeah, all right. Dead Snow. This is like a steelbook edition of Dead Snow. Um, I love this film. Like similar to Cold Prey, it takes place up in the cold mountains, snowy, winter mountains. People up there skiing, partying, having a good time. Um, yeah, and they get attacked by zombies, but not just zombies. Nazi zombies. It's ridiculous, it's crazy, over the top. A lot of blood, a lot of gore, some great kills. It's just really fun. Dead Snow is Dead Snow's fantastic. Really, really enjoyed that one. Yeah, definitely check that one out if you get a chance. Ah, Demonic. I think you looking at the cover, you can see why I bought this. Uh, Tom Savini is in this. Um, yeah, I haven't watched it. I saw this At a thrift store, I saw the name Tom Savini, and I thought I would buy it. Now, a film by Johannes Roberts. He's a good director. He directed I'm not gonna remember it. He did one of the shark movies, like 47 Meters Down, maybe. Um, I'm drawing a blank. He's done a couple good things. I have some of his other films. I just can't remember off the top of my head. So I don't know. This might be okay. Tom Savini. Um, I like anything with him in it, so I'll check it out at some point. And then we have Demonic Toys, another full moon features film. Charles Band and the gang. Um, this was fun. I like this. This is one, like, this cover. I see this growing up in the 80s at the video rental stores all the time. The babies are like, sorry, the toys, especially the baby, is super creepy. People just get trapped in like a warehouse kind of thing, and these toys are like possessed, and they start killing them. They have to fight these toys. It's silly. Um, but it's fun. I like these, the well-known, better known full moon horror movies are pretty fun. So yeah, Demonic Toys is a good one. I liked it. This one, I don't even know if it belongs in this, but Dino Croc. I haven't seen this. Again, thrift store pickup. I saw it. It says Sci-Fi Collection, Roger Corman, but there is, mentions on something on here, horror mystery. I don't know. So I'm sure there's some horror elements to this. I'm a sucker for these, hybrid Dino Croc. It's just ridiculous, but I don't know. Roger Corman. It's probably fun. Probably a fun popcorn film. I'll get to it sometime. Driller Killer. Yeah, this is a good one. I really like this one. This is really raw, man. Abel Ferreira. Good, good, just a good horror film. It's kind of a slasher, I guess. Yeah, it's like a proto slasher. Killer. He's an artist, struggling artist, and he just, for whatever reason, he has a breakdown, and he buys. He sees like an ad on television for like a drill that's like powered by like a battery pack. You can wear the battery pack, so it becomes like a wireless, cordless drill. So he buys this thing and he walks around the streets and starts killing people for whatever reason with a drill. And here's like one of the most infamous. A guy gets a drill in the head, and it's just it's pretty brutal. There's some really good kills. Pretty graphic. This is pretty raw and visceral. Um, yeah, Driller Killer is a good one. I like that one. We have The Faculty. Yeah, Robert Rodriguez. This is a fun one. I haven't seen this in a really long time. I saw this in the theaters, I remember. What's this, 90? I don't even know. I'm not going to be able to see it here. 90 something. It came out around the same time as this was part of like the Scream revival. Scream, I know you did last summer. Urban Legend, all that stuff. Halloween H2O. Um, yeah, it's that little second generation of the horror came out, and this was fun, man. Bunch of students at a school, and they suspect that the teachers are like I think they're like abducted by aliens, kind of thing, like kind of like similar to the Body Snatchers, Invasion of the Body Snatchers kind of thing, and they have to fight back. Good cast, you got Elijah Wood, who I like, Josh Hartnett. Was it Clea Duvall, Usher? They always have to have all this is so weird that this genre, like H2O and the Scream movies, they all have to have like an R&B, like rap artist in their films. It's really weird, but anyway, The Faculty was good. I liked it. The Final Girls. Now, I've talked about this. This is on another video on my channel. Films inspired by 80s slashers. If you don't know what this is, again, this is a film that's kind of trying to be an 80s slasher. There's this girl, her mother died when she was younger, but her mother, in like a car crash, and her mother was an actress in the 80s who starred in like a famous 80s slasher series. So, on like the 25th anniversary of like her most famous film, her and all her friends go to the movie theater to watch it and pay tribute to her mother and all that stuff. And there's a fire in the theater or something, and somehow they all get sucked into the film. And then they wake up and they're like, "Oh my goodness, we're in the 80s slasher film and they have to survive." And she's like, "Oh my goodness." And she sees her mother, who's young, and she doesn't know that it's her daughter because she's her character in the film. So she's like gets to relive with her mother. This guy here, the guy from Silicon Valley, Thomas Middleditch, he's like the 80s slasher expert, so he knows all the tropes. And he's like, "Oh, if we don't do this, this is gonna happen." It's like a really meta type thing. Really fun. Yeah, a love letter to the 80s slasher film. Super fun. No nudity, not a lot of violence, so it doesn't really follow the formula that much, but it's fun. There's some decent kills, and it's funny, and it's very. If you're a fan of 80s slashers, you can't not love this. Camp Bloodbath is the name of the film that they go into. Really fun. I love the Final Girls. All right, Alfred Hitchcock's Frenzy. This is another slasher film from Hitchcock. This is a later one. What's this? 1972. So this is like a later one for him, and this is basically a slasher film for Hitchcock. So it started with Psycho, which is one of the first slasher films, and this is another one. So yeah, you can't go wrong with Alfred Hitchcock. I've showed this before. I'll just put it in here right quick. Obviously, Friday the 13th Part 3. I used to have a lot of these on DVD, but I got rid of them. And, I saw this, and it's pretty cool. It's the 3D version with the 3D glasses. So, yeah. Yeah, love it, obviously. Alright. Alright, next up we have Galaxy of Terror, another Roger Corman. This is kind of, this is like the era where they were ripping off Alien. So many films were ripping off Alien. Um, this was fun. I liked this. It's, typical Roger Corman. There's lots of blood and guts, lots of crazy, some nudity. This one's infamous for like the alien monster forcing himself on one of the women. And it's pretty brutal and graphic, and it's tearing its clothes off, and it has its way with a woman, which is ridiculous. But this is fun. If you haven't seen Galaxy of Terror, it's a good one. It's really fun. Yeah, cult classic. All right. Next up, we have Grabbers. This is this is like a British film. I don't know if it's Ireland. I feel like it's Ireland, but it could be England. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's in the UK. British film, and basically like these crazy tentacle monsters attack this small seaside British town, and the heroes of the story find out that if you're drunk, they want nothing to do with you because it makes them sick. So they like, all right, well, the way we have to fight these guys is we have to get smashed, get drunk, off our asses, kind of thing, fall over drunk, and fight them. So that's what this is. All the characters are like really drunk trying to fight these monsters. It's fun. There's a lot of British humor. It's like half British humor, kind of like Shaun of the Dead type humor, you know? But then there's the horror element that's mixed in with it. There's some good kills. Yeah, like Super 8. I don't know if I agree with that, but it's fun. Grabbers is yeah, it's a pretty good one. So up next, we have Hobo with a Shotgun. Rutger Hauer. Yeah, this is basically, it's all in the title, This is a bunch of like it's kind of set in like a post-apocalyptic type thing. There's like a vigilante homeless guy who fights the bad guys in the streets, and he has a shotgun, and it's ultra violent. It's like an exploitation film. This is one of these ones that belong within like the Machete um franchise world, because they had all those fake trailers for Machete, and somebody took the trail. I think this was like originally made just as a trailer, and someone took it and they went and they made like they fleshed it out to be a full movie, and it has that grindhouse feel to it. Yeah, sorry, it started with the two grindhouse films because Machete was the same thing, and it kind of that whole world kind of thing. Anyway, um Yeah, this is fun. This is just a fun, violent exploitation film. Rucker Hauer turning up to 11. Really good. Like Hobo with a Shotgun. All right. House of a Thousand Corpses, of course, Rob Zombie's first, feature film. Um, this was okay. This, I don't know, something about this. I don't know. I like this film. I have to revisit it. I think it's been a long time since I've seen it. I liked the sequel, Devil's Rejects, a lot more than this. But this is good. This is, it looks like a Rob Zombie film. Captain Spaulding, of course. Sid Haig is just fantastic. It has a good cast. It's Bill Moseley, Sherry Moon Zombie. Yeah, this was good. I had to revisit this. It's very similar to Texas Chainsaw for me. I don't know. There's a lot of similarities, and maybe that's why I was like, oh, it's kind of a ripoff. I had to revisit. It's been a long time since I've seen this, but yeah, pretty good. All right, House of the Devil is another one of these. This was also in my 80s inspired movies. This takes place in the 80s, and it looks kind of like the 80s. They did a really good job. This is more of like a well, House of the Devil. It's a girl goes to like house sit, like babysit kind of, but it wasn't a children. It was just kind of watch a house. I think there's like an old woman upstairs that they wanted her to keep an eye on while they went out. But it was a whole thing, and it's like a you know demonic cult thing. And she has to survive the night, and really good tension, really spooky. The house is super creepy, really quiet. A lot of the movie's quiet. Her walking around the house, investigating, and realizing what kind of situation she's in. Um, yeah, House of the Devil is a good one. Yeah, during the 80s. Yeah, during the 80s, satanic cults. Yeah, really good. If you haven't seen House of the Devil, definitely check it out. It's a good one. Alright, so in my Blu-ray collection, I had the original, I Spit on Your Grave, on Blu-ray, and this is the remake. I haven't seen this. Again, it's one of these ones that I haven't gotten around to seeing. A lot of these I haven't seen just because I have a lot of stuff that I have backlogged to watch. I hear that this is super violent, super gritty. Some people are offended by this because they take it too far, some of the scenes, but again, it's like a rape revenge film. A woman at the beginning, gets raped, and then she takes her revenge on all the guys who did it. And she knocks them off one by one, and apparently this one is super, super violent, super gory. Yeah, I definitely want to check this one out. Alright, Jason X. Um, Yeah, I like Jason X. I've talked about this lots of times. It's a weird one in the franchise, Jason in space. But it's fun. It's kind of like an action, sci-fi horror movie. There's like a military aspect to it. It's weird. It doesn't quite fit with the other Friday films for me, but I like it. It's fun for what it is. It's enjoyable. So yeah, Jason X. Next up we have Ju-on. Um, I didn't like this. And I know that a lot of people love these films. These just aren't for me. These Japanese, they're really, I don't know, they're really weird. I don't know if I get them, they're just, I don't know, something about them. It's not a bad movie, it's not the horror for me. It's just not my type of horror, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of these Ju-on films, so maybe some of them I would like. Maybe this is just, I don't know if this is the one that people like the best. I don't know. It's definitely creepy. There's definitely some creepy stuff going on. It's just, I don't know. Not my type of horror, but if I ever come across more of these, I'll watch them. Um, I'll be honest, like these ones that have like the American redo, I like the American redo ones. So I know that's probably blasphemous to some people because the original are always considered the better films, but I don't know. That's just that's just my opinion, I guess. Now this is like a Killjoy collection. Killjoy 2, Killjoy 3. Again, Charles Band. I haven't seen any of these yet, but these are like clown slasher type things, I think. Um, I hear these aren't great, but they're, for a full moon Charles Band type thing, they're probably enjoyable. I definitely want to watch them at some point. But again, I keep getting stuff that I would rather check out, and these keep getting bumped down the list. But yeah, I'm glad I have it. I'll check them out someday. All right, Laid to Rest. This movie is fantastic. Man, I just recently watched this like a couple months ago for the first time. I've had this forever. This guy, the director, it's so weird. I watched this film and I'm like, I have to learn more about this. So I looked up this director, and literally the night I watched this film, he had died like 6 days before. Really weird how that happens. I'm like, what? This guy. Anyway, besides the point, it was just kind of a creepy thing. Laid to Rest, so good. Chrome Skull, The Killer. This film has such crazy gore. It's fun. It's a lower budget film, but it's so fun, man. Um, yeah, what's her name? Lena Headley from Game of Thrones and whatnot. Um, yeah, some of the gore and some of the kills in this is really good, really fun. There's a sequel to this. I can't wait to track that one down. But Laid to Rest, awesome. Really liked it. Alright. Then we have The Leprechaun. This is the first three films. I've only ever seen the first one. It wasn't great. Jennifer Aniston, I think it's like her first feature film, leading role anyway in a feature film. It wasn't great. It's fun. It's cheesy, funny. I hear the third one is pretty good. He goes to Vegas. And then he goes to the ghetto. He goes to space eventually. This is a franchise I haven't really gotten into too much, but I watched this, and I'm gonna go through these again. I'm hoping they get. It's not bad. It's not bad. I guess you have to be in the mood for silly leprechaun running around killing people. They're cheesy. I'm glad I have this though. I'll yeah, I'll have to check them out more. All right, Machete Joe, again, thrift store pickup. I saw the cover. I was intrigued by the cover. I haven't watched it yet. Big machete, dead body. Um, I think I looked this up, and it doesn't get great reviews, but yeah, one of these days I'll check. It's rated R, so that's good. 81 minutes, it's short, so it shouldn't be too painful to sit through if it's too bad. I don't know, Machete Joe. I'll check it out sometime. We go from that to another Hitchcock film. I've never seen this, Marnie. I saw these, Sean Connery, so how can you, it's probably pretty good. I know the title. I'm not, I'm not too versed in Hitchcock. I need to watch more Hitchcock. Like I'm stuck in the 80s and 90s, and I'm trying to work my way back through the history of horror. And when I get to the 70s, it's a lot of Italian stuff. And what year is this? This is probably, I don't even know if it's gonna have a year on here. 64. Is that what it says? 1964. Yeah. So. I like everything of Hitchcock I've seen. I've seen a lot of his bigger titles. But yeah, this is one I have to check out. And there's another one coming up here I've also haven't seen. So we'll get to it when we get to it. Maximum Overdrive. Stephen King, written from one of his stories, and he actually directed this film. And apparently, when he directed it, he was out of his mind on cocaine the entire time. Starring Emilio Estevez. Basically trucks get 18-wheeler transport trucks get like possessed, and a group of people get stranded at like a rest stop, like a gas station, truck stop, and they have to survive. Soundtrack by AC/DC. They did like a Who Made Who album based on all these mostly songs. I liked this. It's cheesy. It's super cheesy. I don't think this did well at the time. It kind of got panned by the critics, but I think it's kind of has a cult reputation now. And Maximum Overdrive is fun, man. It's not to be taken seriously, but I had a good time with this. This is a fun one. Mountain of the Cannibal God. Ursula Andress, the first Bond girl from Doctor No. Stacy Keach, of course. A bunch of people go to an island to do research or whatever, and there's a bunch of cannibals that they run into, and they have to survive, and they string them up, and they rip their clothes off, and Yeah, this was basically made, I think, just to show Ursula Andress naked, basically. Um, but yeah, you know what? Wow. I watched this. I didn't even realize it. I just see this now. This was directed by Sergio Martino from Torso, which in my Blu-ray video saw. I love Torso, the Italian giallo like hybrid slasher or giallo slasher hybrid. I didn't even know this was directed by Sergio Martino. Um, yeah, this was okay. This is a kind of a like again like an exploitation within like the cannibal genre, like Cannibal Holocaust and all that stuff. Um, this was fun. I'm glad I have this. This was good. I'll have to revisit it. That kind of blows me away. I had no idea. Um, yeah, so it was good. All right, The Mummy. This is my only horror or Hammer horror film in my collection. Again, I found this at a thrift store, and I'm like, well, come on, Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, Hammer horror. I haven't watched it yet. You know what? I don't even think I've seen a Hammer horror. I'm kind of embarrassed to admit it. It's just something that I haven't tackled yet. It's just a whole genre, subgenre of horror that I've just not getting into. This will probably be my entry point, and I don't know if this is a good one or not. I don't know. I'll have to check it out. Alright, Night of the Demons 3. I have the original Night of the Demons in my Blu-ray collection. Stars Linnea Quigley. I talked about it in that video. It's pretty good. I liked it. This is part 3. I haven't seen part 2, so I haven't seen part 3. So I found this at a thrift store again, and yeah, I just want to I kind of want to watch part 2 before I tackle this. So I don't have much to say. I don't know anything about this. It looks the same, like demons and like bloody gore. Yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. All right, another one I haven't seen. A lot of these I haven't seen. Outpost, Outpost, Rise of the Spetsnaz. Again, this is like Dead Snow, like a Nazi zombie type thing. There's a few of these Outpost movies. I don't think this is the first one. This is probably I feel like this is like the third one, second or third. I like these films. I kind of, like I said, I kind of want to wait to get the first. I don't know if I need to see the first couple. Probably not. But I'm kind of like OCD, like watching things in order. Um, I don't know. I'm sure I'm gonna like this for what it is. Those type of films are fun for me. All right, this is like the Masters of Horror series. There's a whole bunch of these. I see these all the time. For whatever reason, I don't pick them up too much. But I saw the Dario Argento one, Peltz, Meatloaf, John Saxon, Dario Argento. I was like, wow, how can I not? How can I not pick this up? Look at the cover. It's pretty good cover. This was okay. This was kind of a weird. This is late Argento, and I think a lot of us know he kind of fell off his quality. Went down considerably as time went on. But this one's okay. This one's I don't know. It's kind of a weird one. I can't even remember too much about the plot. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I guess it's not too memorable. But yeah, these are, I don't know. This is all right. I don't have too much to say on that one, unfortunately. Pie. This is Darren Aronofsky. I don't know if it's his first. I think it is his first film, but if not, it's one of his early films. This is like a lower budget, black and white. The whole thing is shot in black and white. It's like a mathematician, and he thinks he's gonna use math to I don't know, get like a code. I don't know, to solve something so people want him because he's like working on these computers and all these like it's like what is that? I don't know what to say here. Like these gangsters or like anyway, people. Yeah, it's about the stock market. He's trying to like solve math and stock market and all this. It's kind of a weird techno jargon kind of thing. Um, I just recently watched this I don't know last year. It was okay. It's again not my type of horror. I don't think it was a little. I don't know. A lot of techie talk and stuff, and it was okay. Um, yeah, it's pretty dark though. It's pretty some weird stuff going on. All right, of course we have another Roger Corman classic, Piranha, the original Piranha. I love the remakes. But this is great, man. These are so fun. Obviously, these are takeoffs on Jaws and stuff like that. But instead of a big shark, it's thousands, hundreds and thousands of piranha fish. This is fun. These like just this era of Roger Corman with like the creature features and like the nudity and it's just the blood. It's fun. These are yeah, this is a good one. Really like Piranha. Poultrygeist. Night of the Chicken Dead. This is a trauma film. Now, I like trauma. I like, the Toxic Avenger films. I like, Return to Nukem High. I like a lot of their stuff is fun. This film is, I don't know. This is weird. I don't want to say I didn't like it because I think they did exactly what they want to, but there's like singing in this. There's like really weird singing. There's just like musical numbers. This film is just really strange. I don't know what I think of this. It's fun. I laughed, but a lot of times I was like, God, this is stupid. This is a weird one. I don't even know what to say about this. I feel like everyone should see it just to see it because it's really strange. Um, yeah, Poultrygeist, very very weird. Now I have this cheap little Puppet Master collection. Charles Band, Full Moon, 9 movies on like how many discs is this? Is it like yeah? It's got Puppet Master 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 more. I haven't seen any. I haven't seen a single Puppet Master film. I know, and it's one of these things that I've been wanting to check out. These probably look terrible. Like what 9 films on 2 discs. They're yeah. I know there's Blu-rays for these, and I kind of wanted to hold out for these, but I'll probably check these out sometime. I know like the first 3 or 4 people like, and then I think there's some other random ones thrown in later on that people like. But it's a franchise I definitely want to get into. I just haven't checked it out yet. Um, yeah, Puppet Master. I don't know. They look fun. So next up we have another of these like creature feature things. Or it's not really a creature. I don't know. I don't even know if this belongs in this, but it has Robert Englund, Python. Yeah, people against a giant snake. I don't know. I feel like I've seen this when it first came out back, and this is like a '90s film, I think. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember much about this if I seen it, but like these are kind of fun. I don't know. Python, not much to say. The Ring. Again, this is one of those like I talked about Juon. So Ringu is the original. This is the American take on Ringu, The Ring. Um, I saw this in theaters and I really liked it. It really freaked me out. Like the little girl crawling out of the well. A lot of really disturbing imagery. I don't know. I haven't seen this maybe since then. I think I watched it once since the theater, but it's been a while. But I remember liking this. Yeah, I don't know. The Ring is. I have good memories of that. This one probably doesn't belong in this video, but I'll put it here. Saturday the 14th. This is like a spoof comedy. I didn't like this. It was just too silly. It's not scary, but yeah, I don't know. This was just I don't know. I'm glad I have it. It's cool. It looks cool. It looks good on the shelf. Just my opinion, not a great film. Now I have it says the complete Scream collection, which I don't think it is, because, oh no, there is 4 films on here. So yeah, Scream, Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 4. I love the Scream films. I like them all. I know it was a part 3 that people don't like. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I like them all. I just like the franchise. I like the world. It's fun. They're fun, modern, slashers. Yeah, there's not much to say. Scream's great. This is a good little set again. Thrift store find. $2 or $3 for 4 films. You can't pass that up. Yeah, I like the Scream films. They're good. Shredder, another '90s slasher. This is fun. This is not a good movie by any means. The acting is terrible. I think one of the guys, I don't even know his name. Yeah, this is gonna say here. Yeah, I don't. Oh, Scott. Yeah, Scott Winger played DJ's boyfriend in Full House. He's like the lead in this, and he's like again not a good actor, but this is fun. There's some decent kills. It's lower budget, cheesy effects. But I'm super glad I have this. This is really cool. A group of friends go snowboarding, and they're investigating what's going on. The mountain's closing or something like that, and they're staying in the ski lodge, and a killer's on the loose and starts killing them. It's fun. I like those winter settings. It's a really good setting for me. So yeah, Shredder, not bad. Um, Signs, I don't know. M. Night Shyamalan film. I liked it. I haven't seen it since probably the theater. Um, you know, we all know M. Night Shyamalan, what his thing is. I guess this is horror. This is, I don't know. It's horror. It's something else. I don't know. It's okay. I like Signs. Silence of the Lambs. Another. This is like an Oscar winner horror. This is probably the only horror film that's ever won like Best Picture. 1991. Yeah, this is good. This is fantastic. Hannibal Lecter, Jodie Foster, Buffalo Bill. There's so many good moments and stuff in this film. The franchise, this is a pretty good franchise. There's quite a few of these films, TV shows now. Yeah, Silence of the Lambs is good. Really good one. Here is the last Hitchcock film, Ingrid Bergman, Gregory Peck, Spellbound. I haven't seen it, so I don't know. Um, yeah, I'll have to check these out one of these days. All these old horror films, like even like in the Blu-ray collection, I had like the Frankenstein and Dracula Blu-ray sets. I've watched a few of them. Every time I watch them, I like them. I have a hard time getting the initiative to get up and watch them. But I just always go back to 80s slashers and other stuff with lots more blood and gore. But these are good films. I have to spend some more time with them. Valentine, another one of the Scream era revival in the late '90s or early 2000s. I don't know if I've seen this. This is a recent pickup. I just got this. It has a good cast. David Boreanaz, who's Angel. Denise Richards, Katherine Heigl, really young Katherine Heigl, before Hollywood didn't seem to want to do anything with her anymore. Yeah. I hear this is a good one. Scream Factory did the recent special edition Blu-ray on this collector's edition. So yeah, I only picked this up like a month or so ago. So I'll have to. I can't remember if I watched it when it first came out, but yeah, I'm excited to check this one out. Another one I haven't seen, Vampire Girl versus Frankenstein Girl. This is a Japanese film, and apparently it's your typical Japanese horror, off the wall, zany, tons of blood. Just the pictures on the back, it just looks crazy. I hear people like this. This is a nice little find I got at a thrift store. 2-disc set. Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to check that one out. This seems like it might be up my alley. I think I might like that one. We'll see. Wolf Creek. This is an Australian like slasher type film. This was awesome. I really like Wolf Creek. There's a sequel which I haven't seen yet. A group of friends go out hiking in like near like in the outback in Australia, and their car breaks down, and you know a dude comes along and says, "Oh, I'll help you. I'll tow your car back to my place. I can fix it in the morning." And they have to basically survive the night because he turns into a psychopath and starts killing them. And it's very violent. A lot of gross, gory kills. Um, yeah, really good. Wolf Creek. If you haven't seen it, it says it's based on true events. So, yeah, I don't know. Really good. I hear the second one's good as well. Really, really like this one. And last up, on DVD, I used to have a couple like combo packs, like multiple movie things. So this is Trio of Terror. Again, this is just a cheap 3-pack that has Night of the Living Dead, Nosferatu, and House on Haunted Hill. Good little collection, yeah, it's just these probably don't look great. I'll never watch Night of the Living Dead on this because I have the Criterion Blu-ray and I have it on another format coming up that I don't know. But it's good to have this. Nosferatu, House on Haunted, two classics. So good little set, I guess. This one here, Fright Night, 10 movie pack. Again, it's really old movies. The Eight Man, The Bad, Bowery at Midnight, The Devil Bat, The Ghost Walks, The White Gorilla, Shock, Scared to Death, One Frightened Night, and The Island Monster. I don't know any of these movies. I haven't seen any of these. The Bad I've heard of. I think The Devil's Bad I've heard of. The Eight Man, but that's about it. I haven't seen any of these. I don't know. These are films from what, like the 40s, 1942, 59, 1935. Yeah, 1934. These are really old classic horrors. I don't know. One day I'll probably check them out. And then the last one is a Scream Factory release of, we got The Dungeon Master, Cellar Dweller, Contamination 7, and Catacombs. I like these packs. These are cheesy fun. Dungeon Master I watched. Pretty good. Silly, but pretty good. Cellar Dweller I watched. Not good. Did not like that. Pretty bad. I haven't watched this yet. Apparently this is one of the worst movies ever made. That's the reputation. So of course I'm intrigued. That's next. And Catacombs I haven't seen either. So this is a great set. These films look good. They remastered a little bit from Screen Factory. I'm glad that there's a couple. They have a couple of these horror. This is volume 2, so there's obviously a volume 1 horror marathon. So these are fun. All right. So next up, we'll take a look at my VHS and Betamax collection. All right. So first up, I have just a couple like clamshell type cases. So let's put them here. So we have two films we've already talked about: Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead. These are pretty cool. These are put out by Anchor Bay. So it used to be a big deal back in the day of media collecting, Anchor Bay. Yeah, these are obviously classic. We talked about these in the Blu-ray video. Yeah, love them. Very good. Next up we have Christine, John Carpenter, Stephen King, Christine. Classic. Yeah, love this. Again, we talked about this. I have the 4K Ultra HD version of this, so yeah, pretty cool one to have. Next up, we have The Crow. I've never seen this. I've had this film forever. This is the only format I've had it on, and I've been waiting to watch this for a while now. I've never seen it, so I don't know. I want to check it out really soon. Yeah, glad I have it. Another Stephen King, Cujo. This is a good one. This is a classic. Creepy dog. Is kind of scary. I remember watching this as a kid when they're trapped in that yellow car, and just freaked me out as a kid. This is a weird one. This is definitely a weird horror film, but it's pretty good. Next up, we have another Stephen King, The Dead Zone. Yeah, this is good. I like The Dead Zone. It's Stephen King at his pretty weird. 1983. Yeah, Dead Zone's pretty good. I like this film. The book is awesome. All these books are usually always better than the movies, but this was a pretty good adaptation from his book. Directed by David Cronenberg. So yeah, this is a good one. Deborah Hill, produced by Deborah Hill. A lot of star power put in this. Yeah, Dead Zone is good. All right, I've shown these a lot of times before, but I'll just show them again on here. Friday the 13th Part 1. Friday the 13th Part 2. Friday the 13th Part 3. Friday the 13th the final chapter, and then we jump to Jason Takes Manhattan. So obviously I'm missing Part 5, Part 6, and Part 7. I'm on the lookout, I got these for like $1 each almost for, at like a thrift store. Now if you go on eBay, Parts 5, 6, and 7, people want north of $50, which is absolutely ridiculous. So I'm just waiting. Hopefully I can find them at a pawn shop one of these days. But yeah, glad I have them. Alright, then we have Fright Night, classic horror film. This is one of those nice little cases here. Yeah, this is like the modern, back in the 80s, the modern vampire take. Really good, really fun 80s film, 80s vampire film, just a lot of fun. Tom Holland, written and directed by. I like Fright Night quite a bit. It's a good one. And we have Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Again, we've talked about this in the Blu-ray video. Yeah, classic. Always nice to have a copy on VHS, just because films like this are better on VHS. I don't know, they're a little more visceral. I don't know. I like to watch this on VHS. It's more fun. Another copy of Night of the Living Dead. I don't know why I have two copies. I just, I see it, I just pick it up. It's probably like a quarter or something at a thrift shop. So, yeah, it's a classic. My lone Nightmare film, New Nightmare on VHS. Yeah, it's a Freddy film. It's a good one. I like this one. This was, parts 1 through 4 were pretty good. Parts 5 and 6 are absolutely terrible. I hate those movies so much. And then this came back. This was a good one. I remember seeing this when it first came out, and it really freaked me out because it's like the meta thing. Yeah, I like New Nightmare. And we got House. I just recently watched this. I watched it as a kid. I remember it scared me a lot as a kid, and I just recently watched this, like, I don't know, like a couple weeks ago, pretty recently, this, like, on VHS, and it was pretty good. It's silly, like, the monsters are silly, the makeup, but for what it was pretty good. And, Sean Cunningham, of course, from Friday the 13th, yeah, it was alright. Of course, we have Halloween, the original, John Carpenter's, we've talked about this a lot, classic, nothing more to be said about that. Gremlins. I don't like Gremlins. The humor in it just bugs me. I get it that this is like a kid's movie, but this was like scary for kids, so I don't know who it's for. For adults, it's too silly for me. I don't know. People love this. This isn't like a nostalgic one for me. Like, people grew up on this. Um, I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't know. It's not for me. Yeah. Here's a recent pickup. I just made a video. This is an 80s slasher, Ghost Dance from 1982. I just made a pickup video on the channel for this. I was really excited. I still haven't watched it yet. But I'll wait and I'll do a review on it. So yeah, I love that I have this. Fantastic. And that's it for the VHS. Now I only have a very small handful of Betamax tapes. First up, we have Body Double. This is borderline horror. It's like thriller, suspense. Brian De Palma. He had like Dressed to Kill. I think they're horror films for sure. But yeah, it's like the erotic thriller type thing. Yeah, super cool. Super cool to have on Betamax. Yeah. Then I have another movie we talked about on Blu-ray, Firestarter. Firestarter is just okay. I love the Betamax. Like, I think they look so cool. They're, smaller on the shelf. I wish... I don't have a player to play these, so it's really annoying. But yeah, Firestarter is okay. And appropriately, the last thing we're going to talk about in this video... Friday the 13th, A New Beginning on Betamax. I don't have a case. This came in a Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home. I bought it and I brought it home and I looked at it and it's like, oh, nice surprise. So yeah, so that's it, guys. That is my entire non-80s slashers, even though we have a couple on VHS here. My horror collection on Blu-ray, DVD, VHS, and Betamax. That's it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little series. Like I said, this is just kind of a one-off thing. We won't be, from this point forward, we'll be, probably all 80s slashers going forward. But I thought I'd just get these out here just to, show off my collections, see what I have, some thoughts on some of these other films that we don't get to talk about very much on this channel. If you haven't seen my parts 1 and 2 of my Blu-ray horror collection, I'll link it below. And I'll also link my most recent update of my 80s slashers on Blu-ray collection. So I'll link all 3 of those below so you can check those out. And yeah, that's it. So alright, until next time. Alright, see ya.